Welcome back, beautiful people, to Thryve. Today I got on tap for you kettlebell hypertrophy workout number 3. Let's get it. 25-minute workout. Okay, so this workout is going to include double kettlebell hypertrophy workout. First, we got our warm up 40, 30, 20, 10 jump rope. We got side lunge left, right. We got seated press, and then we got elevated squats. Good luck. Starting with the warm up 40, 30, 20, 10. Round 1. We're going to do 2 rounds of this. Round 1 first. Hit up 40 jumping jacks. Let's go. Oosh. Get it. Go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So while we're hitting these jumping jacks, you should just be thinking about getting the body warm. Just basic movement, right? This is basic full body movement. All right. It's a phenomenal way to get warmed up, even if you're starting slow. If you rolled out of bed slow, and if you feel like you got a slow start, or even if you feel like you're full of energy, this is still a great way to get the body warmed up and make sure that you are on pace, ready to get a nice solid workout in on this one. All right, so next we got our 30. This is 30 slow bicycle. Two motions is 1 rep. Let's get it. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get it. So notice I'm doing a bicycle type motion with the legs here, bringing the knee to the opposite elbow. So I'm making a conservative effort to twist, okay? Twisting hard, twisting hard, twisting hard. Making a very conscious effort to twist hard, right? As I make the bicycle motion. Knee to opposite elbow. Boom, boom, and boom. Transition. Next, 20. Now, this could be 20 regular squats. I like the jump squats because, again, when we add in some explosive motion, even if we're not being super explosive or exploding to our maximum, even if we're doing kind of a minor jump here, you see I'm doing a minor jump, it helps warm up the quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves, and also get my heart rate up. Again, preparing my body for a phenomenal workout. A great basic way, something that virtually anybody can do to get the body warmed up for some action. All right, ready for some action. And last but not least, I'm gonna hit 10 push-ups here. I like to do push-ups on my knuckles because I'm crazy that way. Boom, chest to the floor, all the way down, all the way up. Let's get it. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, all the way down, all the way up. Make sure you breathe. Solid. Take a minute. Catch your breath. You can rest for 30 seconds. All right, here we go. On to round 2. 40, 30, 20, 10. Round 2. Back to the jumping jacks. Let's go. Boom. Bam. 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 All right, nice and easy. Nice and even. On your toes. Make sure you're breathing. The warm-up is actually also a great opportunity for you to check in with yourself, okay? So while you're warming up, you should be thinking about, just real quick, not dwelling, but thinking about how's our body feeling, okay? How's our legs? How's our knees? How's our hips? How's our ankles? How's our shoulders? How's our elbows, right? What's the heart rate feel like? Right? What's my energy level feel like? It gives you an opportunity to kind of assess these things before you get into the hard workout. So you can decide basically, and again, this is some quick, really kind of calculations you make internally. Am I 80%? Am I at 20% today? Am I at 70%? All right, boom, next, slow bicycle. Notice, each motion is a rep. Each motion is a rep. Now I'm doing the bicycle motion. It took me a minute to get into that, get in sync, doing the bicycle motion. Also notice, on this slow bicycle, my feet do not touch the ground at any point. The idea is to keep the feet elevated if possible. Now, if that's not possible for you, if you're not there yet, that's okay, right? But if you are, try to keep those feet elevated. Do not allow your feet to touch the ground. That just requires a little bit more strength, a little bit more balance, a little bit more core engagement, okay? Boom. Now back to the 20 jump squats. Again, being explosive is a great way to get the heart rate up, get the body warmed up. And also, this is another opportunity for you to check in with yourself, right? How are my hips doing? How are my knees feeling? How are my ankles feeling? How are my toes feeling, right? What's my core feeling like? Again, all these movements are a great way for you to not only get the body warmed up, but also check in with yourself and make sure you feel like you have the appropriate readiness for this workout. That way, if you do not, you can take steps to do some extra things. Maybe you need to do some stretching. Maybe you need to do some mobility. Whatever it is, and then you pull out the tools so you can get that done. All right. So now, boom, back to my 10 push-ups, right? My knuckle push-ups, all the way up, all the way down, chest, right? You know, they say squats, ass to grass. I like to say chest to the press. Let's go. I just made that up right now. Anyway, and time. So that's the end of the 2 rounds. Let's get it. Seconds, you do 15 seconds, whatever is right for you. But this particular workout, if we can, 1 minute, let's get it. Boom. So 1 minute jump rope, I like to be on my toes here. Notice right here I'm doing a double jump. And at some point, I'm going to transition to what I call a heel toe, right? Alternating heel toe, boom, boom. And then in the middle of everything, I might go back to double feet, right? On my toes. Then I might switch to left, right, left, right, left, kind of a deal. But the point is, there are a lot of different ways that you can jump rope. That way you can make it kind of manageable, and you can kind of manage your energy by doing different type of tap motions, different jumping motions, so you can keep a beat, maintain the rhythm, but also not feel like your calves are getting exhausted. Jumping the way I'm jumping right now with the double feet is actually kind of exhausting. That's why there's important to develop different rhythms in that jump rope, right? But again, the most important thing is that you get the job done, all right? So boom, up next, we got the tricep push-up, double kettlebell, tricep push-up, all right? Boom, let's get it. So now transition, right? So in this particular case, in order to do a tricep push-up with the kettlebells, I have my kettlebells not on the handles, but on the cannonball, and I have them pointed toward my hips, right? It's actually kind of a V motion, pointed toward my hips, such way that if I have my hands on the cannonball, forces my triceps, forces my elbows to be in toward my body, my arms go back instead of out, and it creates a situation where I'm doing a traditional tricep push-up the way you would do it on the floor, except I'm holding the cannonball part of the kettlebell, right? Boom, hit that real quick, boom, and we're ready to get to the next one. Right? That can be pretty exhausting. Notice I kept my back straight on my toes. All right, next one, double kettlebell side lunge, right? All of these workouts are double kettlebell, okay? Boom. First, to my left side. Step out, sit back. A lot of people I've noticed have a bit of a misconception or misunderstanding when it comes to a side lunge. I notice people side lunge, and there's three main kind of mistakes I noticed. First and foremost, people, their toe, you'll see it when I go round two on the straight shot. Your toes are pointing out. Your toes should be pointed straight. That's number one. Number two, when you do a side lunge, your should step out and then sit back. Step out and then sit back. I notice people step out and then they kind of lean more in that direction, right? So you got to step out, sit back so your glutes get involved, okay? So that was the left side. Boom. Now I'm going to go right into the right side. Double kettlebell. Now right side. Boom. Step out, sit back. Now depending upon the weight that you're using, in this particular case, I have one bell, you notice, on the inside leg and one bell on the outside leg. One bell on the inside, one bell on the outside. Another mistake I know some people do sometimes, they're holding the kettlebells or the dumbbells at kind of different levels. In other words, one bell might be higher than the other. They might hold, for example, in this case, the right one really high and the left one really low on accident, not necessarily on purpose, right? You should keep them on the same level for holding them low. There are exercises where you purposely have one bell high, one bell low, but this particular one, they're both specifically supposed to be at the same level, all right? So double seated kettlebell press. This is actually harder than it looks because I have no momentum. Like a push press would give you momentum from the legs. This is no momentum. This is all arms, right? But it's also core. You have to really pull the core in, and you also have to have a strong back, particularly a strong lower back, because that's the only base you have. Now I'm pressing here 235, which is pretty challenging for me, right? But it isolates the shoulders and isolates your core, your entire core, not just the abs, but your entire core, all the way around. It forces you to develop that foundation because there's nothing else for you to press from, right? That's why this is really powerful. Nothing else for you to press from. You just have that foundation and you have your shoulder strength. That's it. That's all you get. Next, elevated squats. So now, the double kettlebell elevated squats is one of my more favorite workouts because it allows us to really work what's called the teardrop muscle, the VMO. The muscle is directly related to the health of the knee, right? This is us floating into that knees over toes realm, right? You'll see more of that in other kettlebell workouts, other double kettlebell workouts, but this is us kind of inching our way into that realm. And what this is going to do is make our knees really strong and really healthy. This is great for runners, hikers, bikers, virtually any athlete, right? To have healthy knees, because we're stressing the knee in a direction that doesn't usually get stressed. Instead of focused on sitting back, which works the quads and the glutes, we're focused more on, we're elevated, pushing the knee forward. All right, 1 minute jumper, let's get it. From here, I'm hitting the jump rope. Again, you might notice I like to do, in many cases, like the double toe tap. Okay, you don't have to do it. There's many different types of ways you can jump rope. You also might notice, or it might be hard to tell, I like to jump rope with the actual jump rope. In other words, I don't use the CrossFit style where it's super thin where you can do like double unders. That's not what we're trying to do here. This is not a CrossFit workout. This is a hypertrophy workout. This is a workout design. It's a workout that's programmed specifically designed for you to use 2 kettlebells in a particular way. A, get your heart rate up. B, and keep you moving. C, and also breaking down the muscle so we can develop lean muscle mass, right? It's not a strength building workout, but it's also not just a straight conditioning workout. It's riding that fine line. So in a sense, if you're familiar with CrossFit, in a sense it is that circuit style training, but it's very specific to be a full body workout, and also designed where when you work one body part, you give the other body part rest. For example, if I'm working the upper body, you know, as I hit the push-ups, right after I hit the push-ups, I go down to the legs, and I go back to the upper body, then I go back to the lower body. So I'm not exhausting myself at any particular point, all right? Boom, so now we're on to double push-up, round 2, let's get it. Yes, boom, all right? Now, lift these bad boys up. So now you can see, this might be a better view. We got the side lunge. Okay, this is round 2. Side lunge, again to the left. Notice I'm holding both belts relatively at the same height, or same level. So this is not a situation where I would purposely have one higher than the other. I have them purposely one at the same level. So it's challenging my strength and my balance. Notice also, I'm stepping out, but once I get to a particular spot, then I sit back. Stepping out, sit back. Also notice, from this angle you can tell very clearly that both of my toes are straight, right? Or mostly straight, or pretty darn straight. In other words, I'm not pointing my toe out. When you point the toe out on either side, right? But especially on the side where you're stepping, if you point the toe outward, you lose the tension that you're trying to build on the quadricep, right? It kind of disappears, right? Or I shouldn't say it completely disappears, but it disappears a little bit. You lose the tension, you lose the pressure that you're trying to create, right? Or the contraction, maybe I should say, that you're trying to create on the quadricep and also on the glute. So you want to keep those toes pointed straight. Boom. Also, I should mention posture. I want to keep that chest up. So while I'm bending at the waist, I'm not folding my back, right? I'm bending forward folding like a book, but I'm not bending my spine, all right? Keeping my chest up. Okay, now speaking of chest up, this is a great example of how challenging the seated press is. I have to keep really good posture. I have to have my core really strong. But all I have to rely on is my back and my core. It really sucks. You can see the look on my face. It really sucks, right? It's really difficult. It's harder than I thought it'd be, if I'm being honest, right? But I wanted to really try to power through to get 10 reps. But look at that. It's a struggle. Again, those are 235s. There's nothing mind-blowing amazing. But for me, that's challenging, right? Look at that. Whoa, had to fight for that one. All right, boom, let's get it. Now we got the elevated squats. So keep in mind, I like to do the squats in this particular workout. I'm simplifying. Rack position, right? Which means that I'm holding them high. This is tension on my entire body. So my upper body is like an iso. It's like holding the weights, while my lower body is dynamic, moving. If you wanted to, if you're not ready for this, or if you have kettlebells, your kettlebells that you're using or dumbbells are a little too heavy, you can hold them in a lower position. Or if you wanted to challenge your lower body more, you can have heavier kettlebells, heavier dumbbells, hold them in the lower position. In this particular exercise, I wanted to challenge my entire body. So I wanted to challenge my ability to hold my core, to hold the rack position, while also doing the elevated squats. Now, you don't have to think, you just go from thing to thing to thing to thing, right? And it's designed, again, for you to be able to maximize different parts of your body without exhausting either one. But we are keeping the heart rate up, we are building lean muscle mass, and we're trying to take your body to another level with very dynamic movements. Maybe I should say dynamic, very athletic movements, right? Range of motion movements. Athletic in the terms of the range of motion that we're challenging you to do, right? Or the type of motions that we're challenging you to do. So here, boom, back to the jump rope. Again, a great way to keep the heart rate up and keep you on your toes, building that explosiveness through your feet. This is great, by the way, if you're a combat athlete, building that explosiveness from your feet. Obviously, boxers do this, kickboxers do this, but even if you do jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling, your jump rope you should be jump roping often. In my opinion, your jump rope should be on point. You should be focused on pressing your toes into the ground. not just necessarily bouncing, but actively dorsiflex, plantar flex, pushing your toes up and down into the ground, right? To build that explosiveness through your toes, through your feet, all right? Boom, boom, boom. So up next, again, this is round 3. You're almost done already, right? Round 3, right? Tricep push-up. Okay, so here, I feel I need to get a little bit of stretch in. I want to get my belts placed perfectly. All right, little adjustment, boom, and we're getting it. Look at those triceps popping out, all right? So I want to make sure that I show not only good posture and the best position I can, and the best form I can, but also show the muscles that are being worked in this particular situation, right? So you see those triceps popping out at you, okay? Don't get it twisted. They're coming at you. Boom, all right? So now, again, side lunge. Now we're going back to the side view, starting with the left. Step out, sit back. Core tension, step out, sit back. Upright posture, step out, sit back. Notice my back, my spine doesn't bend. I fold like a book, right? Only as a function of my step out and sitting back, right? I'm folding at the hip like a book, only as a function of, or as a result of my pushing the hips out so I can sit back on my glutes, right? But I'm not folding or bending my spine. Very important. Boom, step out, sit back. Step out, sit back. Boom. Very nice. Okay. Boom. Take a minute, catch my breath. Other side. Now, these motions, the side lunge in particular, side lunge is not a super dynamic motion. You notice I'm not jumping. There's no explosive dynamicness in that function. But if you could do a side lunge effectively, if you can do it well, especially with weight, especially with load, it allows you again to be more athletic in other positions, right? For example, if you're a combat fighter, it allows you to get better with lateral movement, especially if somebody's pressing on you and you need to stop them, right? If somebody's trying to press you in a lateral motion, you need in a lateral position, you need to create stoppage, you need to stop them from moving you, right? It's a great way to build that kind of strength. It's also a decent way to build strength is balance in general, right? If you're balancing on one leg, right? Again, combat sports, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo, being able to balance on that one leg and then come back or push back. Very important, right? Boom. Now seated press, just raw shoulder strength, raw upper body strength, right? Using my core as a base, breathing through. You might recall the second round was already difficult for me. I was already feeling the pain, right? So this third round is nothing easy, as it should be for you. We're trying to push toward the edge of your capability, right? So this is most of these reps. We're doing 8, 10, maybe on the higher end, maybe 12 reps on the higher end of most of these exercises. 15 max, right? But we're pushing toward the edge of our strength capability on most of these while keeping the heart rate up, right? So again, these are not pure strength exercises, but we're bordering on that line. That's why hypertrophy training is bordering on that line between conditioning and strength, riding that middle line. So we get the best of both worlds is the idea. Boom. All right, back to our elevated squats. Let's get it. Boom. Notice how low I go, right? Because I'm elevated, it gives me the mobility to get low. So I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to exercise that ability to get low, and that really, again, pushes my knee forward, right? It really extends my patella tendon and really forces my body to develop strength and balance in this position, which is pretty unusual for most athletes in most movements. It's only been a couple years since I've been training an elevated squat. All right, so now cool down. You got to bring the body back down to homeostasis so you can repair and recover as quickly as possible. A few moves for you. First one, butterfly stretch. All right, we're going to do each one of these guys for 30 seconds. Right, so butterfly or sitting, butterfly position as you see here. Use your hands, grab your ankles, use your elbows and push gently down on the knees, chest up, and breathe. Now when you breathe, long deep breaths into your lower belly, right? In the karate world we call it tanden. Long deep breaths into your lower belly. Allows your body to come down, right? Bring the intensity down, come back to homeostasis, all right? Recover faster. All right, now double triangle stretch, right? So I hit the double triangle. You might notice, right? I have my double triangle here, and I'm leaning back, stretching the left hip, the hip flexor on the left hip, right? So I have the double triangle. I'm motioning now. I'm showing the left hip, and I'm showing that I'm leaning toward my right side, stretching the left hip, leaning on my right arm. You might notice here, So you should feel that stretch. Boom, right? And I'm on my elbow and my forearm, right? Allowing that hip to open up. You can press your hips forward if you're not feeling it. Press your hips forward a little bit, okay? Now maintaining that same double triangle angle, right? Knee to the foot. I'm gonna bring my left shoulder down to my right knee. That's what I'm motioning to you here. Bring my left shoulder down to my right knee. All right, what you should feel is a stretch on that right, basically the IT band, right? But that entire right hip, close to the IT band and also the right hip. And so the further down you can press, like you're pressing down, almost like your chest to the floor, like you're flat, bringing your chest to the floor, flat, my right shoulder to my left knee, then I should feel the stretch of that left knee, that left hip. Okay, boom. Now we're gonna switch double triangle on the other side, right? So now I'm leaning back my left arm. My right hip is being opened up. Boom. Left arm, right hip being opened up, right? It's a cross kind of situation, right? Right, now I'm motion here. Press the hip forward. If you're not really feeling the stretch the way you should, and you're in a position, you need to press your hip forward just a little bit. Just a couple inches of pressing hip forward, you should feel it. Right? Boom. Now I'm in that position. Boom. All right. So I kind of messed up the videos, to be honest with you, right? So that was supposed to be shown before. Anyway, so now here we're gonna go down. We're gonna bend forward. Now I'm gonna bring my right shoulder down to my left knee. See that? Boom. Right shoulder down my left knee, chest to floor. Okay. And you're gonna feel I'm motioning the left outside part of the hip stretching as I make this motion. Okay. Trying to bring my chest flat to the ground, maybe with a little bit of a twist, right? Twisting my right shoulder down to my left knee as much as I can. Boom. Now we're going to return to the butterfly stretch. And what we just did essentially was we stretched the hip on both legs, outside and inside. We stretched the hip outside and inside. So now you should see if you can press your legs further down. Right? So use your elbows to see if you can press further. You should have a little bit more range of motion here because of that stretch. Right? Chest up. Right? Nice long deep breaths. Superhero posture at all times. Yes, and then I like to do a little wiggle to really like dig in there, right? Really push my hips open. Okay, so now getting toward the end. Last but not least, this is some yoga stuff you might have seen or heard before. We got the boom, we got the shift into, this is child's pose, and we're gonna sit here for 30 seconds. Boom, hit the child's pose for 30 seconds. Pushing the hips back, extending the arms, pushing the hips back and extending the arms, right? Really pushing hips right down to basically down to your ankles. Like try to sit your butt into your ankles, okay? Breathe it out, long deep breaths. And then we're gonna shift the body, okay? Boom, into our cobra. Boom, yes, into our cobra. Pushing the hips toward the floor. If you do any wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo, this would be like doing a sprawl. And we're trying to extend the abdomen, right? Extend the abdomen, look up. Press your arms almost straight into the ground. Look up, breathe. Look up and breathe. All right. So, holding this for 30 seconds. Now we're going to transition. We're going to hit this bad boy one more time. This is a basic kind of transition, yoga style. Okay. Back into child's pose. Again, extending the arms. You should feel your lats stretch, feel your upper body stretch into your chest and your shoulders, but your lats in particular. Pushing your hips back. Trying to sit your butt into your ankles, right? Trying to create that separation. Elongate your lats. Hold this for 20 seconds. Nice long deep breaths. Hold this for 20-30 seconds. Nice long deep breaths. Very nice, very nice. Looking good. And boom, transition one more time. Press the hips to the floor, arms basically straight. Extend the abdomen. Hit that cobra one more time. 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds. One more again. Breathe. Nice long deep breaths. Breathe into the lower abdomen. Press up, look up. Press up, look up. Push those hips to the ground. Breathe. Yes, breathe. There we go. Boom. And that's it. That is the hypertrophy double kettlebell workout number 3. Hope you learned something. Hope you have fun. Thanks for training with Thryve. Boom. Great workout, y'all. Catch you on the next one. Peace.